Hello, I'm Mark from Moonstone Publications. Welcome to this overview of some of the stories we've covered over the past week. But first, please hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. There are 5 weeks to go to the biggest change in the history of South Africa's retirement system, and there have been important developments on the two pots front. President Cyril Ramaphosa has assented to the Pension Funds Amendment Bill, which is the final piece of legislation required to enable the implementation of the two-pot system. Retirement funds must ensure their rules are aligned with the two-pot legislation. If they aren't, members won't be able to access a portion of their retirement funds from the 1st of September. A large number of funds have yet to submit their draft rule amendments. Therefore, the FSCA has extended the deadline for them to do so to the end of this month. It warned that rules submitted after the 31st of July will not receive priority, which means they may not be registered by September. The non-submission of rule amendments by the end of this month is not the only reason fund members who apply to make a withdrawal may experience delays in receiving a payout. The Association for Savings and Investment says the calculations to seed the savings component can only be performed after the end of August using the values from that month. This process could take several working days or weeks, depending on the rules set by each retirement fund. Members should also be aware that their personal details will be subject to verification when a withdrawal application is filed. If the personal details on the application form do not match the details on the fund's records, the application will be rejected. Withdrawals will not be allowed without a tax directive from SARS. Fund administrators can only apply for a tax directive if a member has a valid income tax registration number. Liesl Budrum, the head of advice at Old Mutual Personal Finance, says financial advisors whose clients insist on making a savings component withdrawal should ensure their record of advice reflects that all alternative options were explored and the client is aware of the impacts of the withdrawal. Budrum told a recent webinar that advisors have a crucial role to play in changing clients' mindset from how much they can withdraw to whether they should be making a withdrawal in the first place. She provided guidance on the alternatives to taking money from the savings component that advisors can discuss with clients. Guy Holwell, the chief executive of Fairburn Consult, told the webinar that clients who have been receiving holistic financial advice for many years are unlikely to act irresponsibly when the two-pot system is introduced because they have developed healthy financial habits. Where clients do want to make pre-retirement withdrawals, he said advisors should reorientate clients from focusing on their retirement capital to thinking about what this capital will do for them in retirement. Clients may assume that having 1 million or 5 million rand means they will be well off in retirement. To counter this bias, advisors should structure the conversation around the monthly income that the capital will produce in retirement. The Financial Planning Institute of Southern Africa has announced the 3 finalists for the Financial Planner of the Year award. They are Gareth Collier of Crew Invest, Rudolf Geldenhuys of Wealth Up, and Renee van der Spring of Apex Private Wealth. The winner will be announced on the first evening of the 2-day FPI Professionals Convention, which takes place on the 13th and 14th of August in Cape Town. The High Court has ruled that the provisions of the National Health Act requiring doctors to register for a certificate of need are unconstitutional. The Department of Health wants to use the certificate to manage where private healthcare professionals and facilities can provide services. The certificate of need is regarded as an important aspect of the government's plans for national health insurance. Judge Anthony Miller described the certificate as an expropriation of property and services, and said it is akin to an attempt to indenture the private medical sector in the service of the state. His judgment must be confirmed by the Constitutional Court. The South African Reserve Bank this month notified the Steinhoff group of companies that funds in 7 local accounts have been forfeited to the state. The forfeiture amounts to about 6 billion rand plus interest. The notices targeted Steinhoff Africa Holdings, Steinhoff International Holdings, and Ibex Investment Holdings. The seizure comes just months after the forfeiture of assets belonging to Berdien Odendaal, the alleged lover of Marcus Jooste. Jooste's personal assets, along with the family trust, valued at more than 1.4 billion rand, were frozen by the SARB 2 years ago. The central bank isn't the only one eyeing a slice of Jooste's personal estate. The FSCA has said it will lodge a claim against Jooste's estate to recover the R500 million in penalties the authority imposed on him. That's all we have for this week. You can read these stories and many more on our website, moonstone.co.za. Until next time, here's wishing you all the best from the team at Moonstone Information Refinery.